about this. He says, what happens when a society elevates victimhood to a virtue and decides that punishment is cruel? You get the disease called suicidal empathy, and the West is terminally infected. Yes, I do, but I have to leave that go. And so the West is terminally infected by this. We are witnessing a civilization in rapid decline. Lunatic policies are instituted because we prioritize the feelings of ostensibly marginalized groups over the truth.
Wow.
Criminals over victims, and squatters over homeowners. This is not humane. It's an active dismantling of the pillars that keep us safe and free. It's a complete rejection of wisdom that has occurred for the sake of a short-term fetish, to stroke that fetish that people may have about feeling so insecure about their own lives and existence because they haven't accomplished anything on their own. They haven't been accomplished. They haven't done anything by themselves.
That's interesting.
They haven't made anything.
Right.
They've received things. They've used things. They've destroyed things. They've consumed things, but they haven't created anything.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so there's a certain lack of sincerity, I think, that happens in our lives if we aren't responsible and held accountable. And that's what's been happening, is the accountability has been left out. You're not responsible for that. You didn't. You're not.
Yeah, that's okay. Right.
You're not to blame.
Right.
So get out there. And,
he didn't mean to bite you.
right. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And so Dr. Sad is kind of pulling this all out. And you've probably seen him on talk shows and different panels over the years. And it helps if you watch a couple of his videos ahead of time before you try reading his book, because it helps you understand.
His saying on that, because I want you to read his definition.
Well, I kind of did.
No, that was good on that, but he has a definition that you had, that he says the definition of his
Well, they're all throughout. You find the one you want.
Suicidal empathy. I think you got it on there at one point.
Wow.
It's the guy is brilliant, absolutely brilliant in being able to dissect and to take a look at what's affecting society, what's affecting individuals, their thinking, the distortion of their thinking, their ability to want to defend that distorted thought. He approaches what Sister Lucy says, diabolical confusion. He articulates it in a way that makes sense in human terms. It's priceless. I don't know how you came across this. That's priceless.
Well, he's written a number of books, and I've been following him for several years now.
Okay.
But here's the quick rundown. Suicidal empathy is a concept popularized by author Gad Saad. It describes a pathological form of hyper-empathy in which an individual, organization, or society prioritizes compassion and understanding for others to such an extreme degree that it undermines their own survival, security, and core values, and destroys them. The core concepts are misaligned priorities, rejection of rationality, and self-sacrifice. Ultimately implies that unconditional display of empathy eventually hollows out and destroys the host exhibiting it. So the more you keep giving, like the giving tree, the more there's nothing left.
Right.
And so you basically destroyed yourself and the tenets of your society and community that you grew up
So
in.
he not only yourself, but your community.
Right. Everything gets destroyed around you because there's nothing left.
Yeah.
It's like the giving tree.
Yeah.
It keeps giving of itself to later on there's just a stump.
And one of the first words that he uses is pathological.
Right.
Now, pathology means illness. It means mental illness, social illness. It means
A distortion of your reality.
it's
Yeah.
you have to correct that before you go any further. But if you don't correct that, the result is these other
Right.
terrible things. So,
But it's going through not just our basic social constructs and stuff like. It's going through our spiritual lives.
Yeah.
And it's basically in a lot of ways devaluing and distorting that, and it's causing craziness by following these fetishes and allowing these things. It's destroying the relationship I think that a lot of men have with their spirituality and the church's teachings, because they're saying that's not right, because it goes against nature. I'm a man. I'm here to protect my family and my community, and this not only doesn't feel right, it doesn't match up with my nature. And so there's these battles that are going on in the mind over what is right and what is nature calling for us to do. And so it has an ongoing cascading effect that just brings the whole thing down. And pretty soon there's nothing. And the guys are saying, what am I doing here?
Right.
Oh, yeah. What are we doing here? This doesn't feel right. I can't bring my family to this. Now the wives are sitting saying, oh, you can't do that. You got to be nice. He'll be back. He'll be back. He said, no, I'm not going back. I'll just stay home and work in the shop. You go ahead and go to church.
Well, who was it? My brother was saying, geez, he goes out, he sings at Bonita Springs or something. He goes, I can't wait to go home. I can't wait to, in other words, what's going on in the world is like, help me, Mr. Wizard.
You don't know it's safe to talk to because 50-50 is not, happy with you. And it doesn't matter which side you're on.
No.
50% aren't going to be happy with you. So people shut down and they stop telling the truth. And it's like you go up and you talk with someone, you're wearing a shirt. I used to wear a Let's Go Brandon shirt. And people come up and go, I kind of think that way too, but I just can't say anything. The wife's over here. The wife will be upset with me if I get one of those. Yeah. But they'll talk under their breath in agreement, but they won't be public about it. Well, the men are starting to say, screw that. I'm not going to talk under my breath anymore. Yeah. If she doesn't like it, tough. And this is coming around, and the woke stuff is starting to die off, but it'll still stay in there, and it's being entrenched and being endorsed and being agreed to, and it's being basically we're being told to, accept it, even if it doesn't feel right, because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and we want to conform. See, that's part of the social psychological aspects of propaganda, conformity, self-justification, rationalization, authoritarian personality. We all want to go along. That's a part of this whole thing is not wanting to approach Francis Bergoglio and say, oh no, I like him. Yeah, you like him because he goes along with all the bullshit.
Yeah,
that's why you like him.
You like him because you don't have a well-formed thought to begin with.
You don't have a well-formed.
No,
that's right. No, you're right.
You're accepting and taking what you're told to take in, but you're not thinking about it.
That's right.
Because the IQ isn't there to understand how the play has been used against you. And this is why Islam and Muslims like low IQ people. They don't really teach them to think that way. Our schools are not teaching people to be creative problem solvers. So the IQ is falling.
IQ really should be positioned to check reality. To look at what's going on.
IQ is important.
To measure it, to put links together.
It's the only way you can, because low IQ can't do it.
And you're saying if you're just smart, it's worthless.
Right. Without IQ, intelligence is just wasted. It might as well just leave a pile of books like this. So Alex, you got a pile of books here. What's this saying about you?
Well, but you keep bringing me stuff, and it's real good stuff.
I'm just kidding, but it's like...
Well, because you get other people's perspectives,
right?
And you weigh it. That's,
But you're using your IQ to measure all these things against each other and then coming out with an actual work product out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of these other guys with the patches on their sleeves and all like that, sitting there puffing on a pipe, who knows what's in it, sitting there with all their books around them, they have this distorted view, like this, I'm proper, I know all this stuff, well, I got all these degrees, but what are you doing with
nothing?
it? Yeah, you haven't, created anything. Well, I wrote a book. Well, your book was a lot of stuff that you borrowed from other people, repackaged, but not doing anything.
I pop off and say things, but believe me, I'm plagiarizing. I'm taken from here. I'm taken from there, and it's just the same thing when the bishop said who presented. He goes, you can have a couple 5 minutes to present the shroud, and I simply extracted something from the mystical city with our Blessed Mother talking about the crucifixion. I didn't. It's not my work. I plagiarized it. He goes, geez. He goes, that's better than my homily.
Where'd you get that from?
You know, I got it from the Blessed Mother. I mean, I'm just robbing her words. I mean, how
Right.
can it has to be better than yours, doesn't it?
Well,
But I gave him the full volumes. Did he read it? Well, God only knows if he read it, didn't read it, or what he did and didn't do with it.
No, they're kind of lazy about their stuff too. But this was formational for priests and religious people previous to World War II. And then with the Vatican II coming about and pushing all that out, that all got pushed out to the side, and the fetishes were extolled, and all the no, it is.
I'm agreeing with you. I
But-
laugh because it's tragic.
Right. But fetishes gain ground in these things, and that's where we're at. They got the virtue, and, oh, we got to be inclusive. We got to be nice about that. Yeah, but you've also got to be disciplined in your arrangement of how you're thinking about things and what you're putting out there. And this is where the bus stop didn't pick up any passengers, on that one. Nobody got on the bus at that point, So this is kind of where we're at in the world. And I know it's been a long section here. I'm going to break this down into smaller segments for everybody.
No, I think we covered a lot of
Digestible.
territory.
But this is all very, very important. And this is an ongoing story. And more is being told and put out there every day. But I had said that 2026 was going to be the year of definitions, and 2027 is going to be the year of change. And we're entering in a really troubled situation here with the summer coming in with the 250th anniversary, with the politics that's going on around the world, especially in the country right now. Things are changing. People need to be aware. You can't sit back being complacent about this, because we all have to live with this change that's going on. It's going to be very painful. It's going to cause a lot of confusion, especially with men who are not going to find this comfortable at all, to deal with this, letting the men be women and be treated like such, and all like this. And it's going against the nature. And this is going to cause this turbulence that not only goes on in the psychology of men in particular, and the children that come out of these relationships, but it's going to infect the mechanisms of our government, society. It already has, and it's just starting. It's just starting. 2027, with the 2028 elections coming up and other things that are going on in the world at the same time, there's going to be other things that are going on with other governments that's all going to come to this huge head. So 2027 is going to be really problematic for people.
I believe it.
And I think that quite possibly, if God was going to make a move naturally, that now would be a pretty good time.
No, absolutely. It's
for him. I mean, it's going to be bad for people, but it's going to be bad for the outcome for how we have to deal with things. But it might be a reckoning that we need.
No,
at this point.
absolutely. He has to intervene for us to work out our own redemption in a way that's it's all about salvation of souls.
We're not doing a good job of policing ourselves.
So this is where we're at, folks. I mean, there's a positive things to look forward to, and there's some, but there is going to be a correction. I do know that, with this one world order nonsense, the year 2030 was a pivotal year for their global coup d'etat. So our Lord may cut them off at the pass in these next years that you're talking about with,
Well, a
correction.
lot of the Green New Deal people said that the Earth was going to be gone in 2030. The oceans are all going to rise up and all the coasts are going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's why Obama bought two oceanside properties. Yeah,
so much for
because he
that.
believed it so much. He invested, $30 million in oceanfront properties. Yeah, that's what you do when the world's going to come to an end.
Well, my friend, is there anything else we want to cover? Or?
Well, there's a lot more to cover, but that's going to be another series of talking. But right now, I just think that the books that our viewers, if there's any left after this point, would be to read
Absolutely.
The Suicidal Empathy and Almost Insurmountable Evil. And I've got to get the information up there about Alexander Dugin's book, which he talks about the counterpoint to this of what the communists and the Islamists are working together on to take down the Western world and civilization. And you can see their playbook has been in effect, and it's working.
Yeah.
And but there is hope for change, but it's going to take people with strong senses of self-esteem to stand up and say no. And so there's still a few of them left, and they're out there, and but they will attract an audience to follow them, because I think the more people get insecure about what is going on, the more they're going to reach around, and they're not going to reach around for the colorful flags. They're going to look around for the ones that show them strength of character and purpose, and that in addition to it, not a fluid sort of scale type of thing. That's what's happening, I think, and that's male brains following their nature, and then bringing the women along with them. Although the women want to change things because of the empathy, but they're finding out even in their own lives that all this empathy hasn't really gotten them anything.
Right.
You know, that it's just gotten them more heartache and sadness. And this is why you find a lot of young women are just very sad, because they followed this dream and they gave up on men, and they treated themselves so poorly that now they're so damaged even unto themselves that the men don't want them because they see that there's such poor character.
Yeah. I mean, what am I signing up for?
Right.
You know.
So better to stay out of trouble than to get out of trouble. Wise words from my mother since I was a child.
What'd she say?
It's easier to stay out of trouble than to get out of trouble.
She's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be visiting her, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll see her later today. So, well, in the meantime, a lot covered here. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you hanging in there with me, and you folks too. Hopefully, if you made it through these several segments, you'll have some thinking on your plate. And give us feedback. Let us know what you think, what you've read that may correspond with this, because we don't have all the time to read everything, but we're trying to be selective about things. And so give us your feedback, what you think, what you've seen. It helps bring in the whole compilation of things. So in the meantime, we love you, and we'll be back.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Alex.